one. Who's in here? What's up? Haven't done one of these in a while. See if we get anybody else in here. Oh man. Hell yeah. There we go. Now we're getting some people. What's up? I haven't done a live stream in well over a year. Man. Love it. Yeah, I'm on the road. I'm sitting in Milwaukee right now in Wisconsin. So, what's up? Picking up tomorrow in Ohio. I don't have the most interesting vlog being filmed right now, but I did start filming throughout the week, so we got all the paperwork done, so we'll be officially leased on this week. We've already started working, so we'll be back for the weekend, and then got a trip to New Mexico next week. Also nice. Yeah, I'm headed to Ohio, and then no, I have not done this. I've not hit a scale yet. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I think, yeah, there's a cat scale over here, so I'll probably do that tomorrow morning. I literally have 2 minutes left on my logbook. But I'm headed to Ohio. I got another one to pick up, then I'm taking that to Maryland, and then I'm headed home. So, and then from there, I got to go back to Ohio to Maryland, and then from Maryland or New Jersey, and then I'm going to New Mexico. And then I should have one coming back up to like North Carolina or Virginia, they said. So enjoying it for the most part, and not dirty. Truck hasn't broke. I have no idea which part of Maryland yet. I haven't looked at that part of the BOL, but haven't broken anything yet. Right now, nothing. The picture in the thumbnail, it was a, oh hell, I don't even remember. It was just like an 8x20, 8,000 pound trailer, so I haven't checked the fuel economy yet. So that I could do all the paperwork. That way, like, I could get everything done, and then I could be officially leased on. So I only found, like, I did deadhead over to Indiana to grab something going over, but it seems like these loads are like $2 a mile loaded, so it's actually a lot better than what I was getting before. So I'm really happy with that. So it's like, I didn't plan on making any money this week, but it's nice to be able to recoup at least like $2,000 of my money back. So next week will be when we start shooting to make more money. But all the paperwork is done, and we're good to, start working. So, and we did get our labels. So I have those. I need to throw those on when I get home. We're just waiting on some vinyl, so I got to go somewhere to get them installed. But other than that, enjoying it for what it is. So haven't been to New Mexico in a while, but it is cold. I posted this on my Facebook. Let me see if you guys can see that. The run time on there, 3,323 minutes. I haven't shut the truck off. So if you do the math on that, divided by 60, the truck has been running for 55 and a half hours straight with no shutoffs. So, figure it was super cold. It was like 15 degrees last night. Next week I want to hit 10,000 on that run time. So I'm going to start Sunday night, and I'm not shutting the truck off until I get back Friday night. So we'll see if that's enough to hit 10,000. Hell yeah. I have the generator back there in the bed, but it shuts off randomly. I don't know if it has to do with the oil sensor. I just haven't had time to mess with it, but it's been cold enough that I don't really feel like shutting it off. Like, it's 30 right now. It's not too bad, but it's definitely better than it was. I actually don't have any additives on me. I've been running this tank down really low as well, so I'm kind of pushing it, but yeah, no, I mean, it starts, but it's it's a fight. If you saw the cold starts, oh good God, yeah, this thing smokes like a chimney. I do have to admit though, from where this thing came from back in January when we threw the 12 valve in it, it is night and day better. I didn't pack any. You know what? You know what I packed? Pizza Hut and wings. That's what I'm eating. I got 2 batteries actually. I did just go buy a second battery and install both of them, and a stock airbox. But as I was saying with the, so I was pulling that trailer, it was like 8,000 pounds. I'd just be cruising, and since I put the stock airbox back in it, you can't hear the turbo at all. So I'll just be casually cruising, and you'll look at the boost gauge and it says 40. And you're just like, wait a second. Like, just casually cruising at 40 pounds of boost. You'd never know. It's not making any noises. It's not like overheating or anything. It's just 40 pounds of boost cruising down the highway. And I'm a little worried about that, but I think my average boost this trip was probably 28 pounds just as an average. So yeah, but no, honestly though, it's yeah. There's the wastegate actuator is not doing anything. But I figure if it blows up, it'll make a good video because we'll just swap the engine on the side of the road. I got money set aside for another engine just in case. Hopefully I don't have to, but let's see. Yeah. I don't know, but it's compared to the common rail that I had in it before. It was the common rail made more power. Yeah, they're really. It's not good. No, but the common rail made more power. But this is a lot more responsive, and it wants to be there. It'll happen. Just wait. Anybody that was. I haven't checked tire pressure. I think they're all at like 60. But anybody that watched before, you guys know what I used to do on the side of the road. Like, you know, wheel bearings, turbos, water pumps. I mean, you name it, I was doing it on the side of the road. So, yeah, I'm okay with whatever happened. I did, speaking of cold start, one of the videos I just uploaded has a cold start in it, and good God, was it brutal. Like, I think the coolant temp was 30 degrees, and at 30 degrees, it's colder outside, so it's like you'll sit there and crank it. After about 3 times of it firing, it'll start, and then you hold the throttle, and it's just, it'll put some smoke out, let's put it that way. Why do these comments keep disappearing? All chat. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yeah, there was a lot of content of fixing stuff on the road. Yeah. Oh, I'm taking this to New Mexico next week, like I said. So, talk about confidence. I mean, I figure, okay, either we're gonna make it or it's gonna break. And if it breaks, I have content. And content is great because I can film and you guys watch it for some reason. I don't know. So hopefully nothing breaks, but I mean, I'm all about the drama with the truck. So yeah, exactly. Still haven't. What are we at? What's that say? 55 hours and 45 minutes. Yeah, I haven't had any DOT issues yet. Speaking of summer, I guarantee you in the summertime I'm not going to shut this truck off at all, because I remember last year in Texas and it was hot as shit. I'm leaving this thing run literally all summer. I don't care. Tom, I can also confirm that. I was in New Mexico. The first time I was in New Mexico, my alternator went out and it was fucking... Oh, it must have been, I mean, it was less than freezing, let's put it that way. It was cold and the alternator went out, so it's like, oh, that was terrible. Swapped it out the next day, but nobody was open that night. But yeah, the people there are nice. Everybody will help you out, but the breakdowns, yeah. Yeah, I have the 5600. No, he's, so... I don't know how I explained this. I don't know who knows or not. I'm running as like Monday to Friday, and this week I'm going to try Sunday night into Friday. I'm doing this until March, and then they told me they were going to run me 2.5 weeks on, and then I'll get a week to a week and a half off. So I'll be able to see my son in between those time off, and then in the summertime I'm going to bring him with me every other trip. So, but I'll basically get a week to a week and a half with him, and then I'll be on the road for 2.5 weeks. So that's how I'm going to run it. Come on, I'll check. There we go. Yeah, no, he still has school, so it's like it's kind of hard to do the schoolwork and everything. So dual alternator. Honestly, no, it's not forced dispatch. This company's actually really good, believe it or not. I'll release all that information down the road when I know that I'm going to be a good influence on them. I want to make sure that my name is good before I put their information out there, because I don't want to tarnish anything with them, because they are a really good company. The guy I was over there today, he's really cool. Yeah, but there's no forced dispatch or anything. So super cool. Let me see, bring that back up. So as for the dual alternator, I don't even know how I would accomplish that with the 12 valve, but I know with the 6.7s, I know they came with them, but I don't know how I'd do that on here. But I don't really see the point anymore, because with this, if the alternator dies, the truck will still physically run because it's completely mechanical. So like I'm sitting here watching the voltage, but if it ever did die, like it would run forever without, I'd lose lights and all that and like power, but I'd still be able to physically drive the truck. As long as the key was in the ignition, I could turn the wheel. So let's see. Yeah, no, I'm not sure if he's going into school or not, to be honest. I know he was doing a lot of the Zoom meetings, but I forget what the actual school situation is. It is a pain in the ass though, taking on owner ops. That I am not sure. I would have to ask. But what I will say about this company, they do a lot of RV stuff, but they also do have trailers, and the amount of money that he's able to pull out of some of these RVs, I was physically impressed with, because when I was running before, I was really only able to get like $1 a mile sometimes. Like I'd probably get $1 a mile was the absolute limit that I would take. But now it's like seeing the fact that I'm making double of that, and it's more consistent, and they schedule the loads. It's so much better. I'm actually fairly impressed with this company, so I have nothing bad to say. I'm going to give it a couple weeks, see how everything's going and whatnot. I don't plan on going anywhere. But before I put their name out there, though, I just want to make sure that I'm doing good for them. And so I've already dropped off the first trailer for them. I know he needs a driver for a semi that he has. I have information. I have to get the information on that, but 12 valve and a 2012 Ford. I think it is possible, because I know the 6.4s, they've been swapping them in there. Hey, safe travels, Joe. Don't do anything too crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen too many hate comments lately, believe it or not. Like, I mean, I don't know if I'm just doing better or they're just kind of like in hibernating. I used to get a ton of them, and it's kind of been peaceful lately. I kind of like it, but at the same time, it's like, it seems like the more people hate, the more views I get. So it's like, I don't know. I'm going to keep the mud tires on the truck just to see if I can ruffle some feathers and keep the older, just keep running the older Dodge. It might ruffle some feathers because it's not like purist, like everybody wants the straight tread tires and whatnot. So, I mean, it's money out of my pocket, so I'm really not worried about it. Rates are higher now. Yeah, I was gonna say, I noticed that because like rates were really low when I was doing it, but I wasn't just doing RVs. I was doing like anything power only, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. But I do want to make mention, yeah, you can start at any time. I do want to make mention that I don't plan on doing RV or power only forever. I have some things that I want to get taken care of financially first, because there's a lot of things in the background that I don't post. but I want to get some of the financials taken care of first, and then I do want to find either a 2 or 3 car non-CDL for this truck specifically, and then there is another truck in the future. I kind of want to build another one of these, but with like a hauler style, like no bed, like fender flares and like just, or not the fender, like the over fenders, and then like the LEDs on the bottom. I kind of want to build something specifically for that, but I don't want to get rid of the bed on this truck. So I'll have 2 trucks, just one as a backup, because I do plan on doing this a lot longer than I did the first time. Especially knowing that there's more money in it than there was when I was running, because I was kind of stupid with money back then. You know, be honest, with the whole trolls and everything, I've been kind of like watching the YouTube drama go down between the hotshotters, like everybody talking, you know, bad about everybody else, and it's just like, I'm just kind of sitting in the comments section eating my popcorn, just kind of looking for the hate comments on some of them. It's kind of entertaining, but I definitely want to stay out of the YouTube drama. Yeah, now how much do you want for it? Because that actually sounds pretty good. I have a lot of money that needs to go out here in the next couple months, unfortunately. But I am curious about that wedge. I'm hoping it's in my budget. That would be pretty nice though. You have my Instagram, right? Just at CP Steve Miller. I thought you messaged me before on there. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's the same same as it was. Just same as my YouTube. Oh, good God. That thing is... Wow. When you have to do when that tie rod came loose, I had to do an alignment on the side of the road. I had to put an axle in it on the side of the road. He's still running it. His tires used to be like out a little bit, so he'd wear through them like in 3 days. Ever since I did the alignment, he's loved it. Even though there's a little play in the steering, he's absolutely loved driving it since. He won't let me buy him an exhaust for some reason, but I guess it is what it is. But he still has it. What time is it? Is it too early to start drinking? 9:16. I think it's 8:16 here. Yeah. I wish I had 15K to drop on a trailer. I mean, I have a lot, like I said, in the background that is going on financially that I have to take care of. So it's like, as much money as I save, a lot of it goes out the door right away. Like, just randomly, here's a couple $1,000 going out the door for something else. It kind of makes it hard to save money. What time is it? This is actually going a lot better than I thought it would. I wasn't expecting to get anybody. I actually took off all of my tint. So I have like no tint anywhere on the truck except the stock tint in the back. So it's like, I absolutely hate it, to be honest. I hate not having the tint. Oof. I saw the message just come in. I'll check on that in a little bit once I'm off the live stream. I kind of want to go in and get I wish I would have went in and got a drink beforehand. Before I would have started this, but I mean, it is what it is. What do we have here? We have a Denny's. How's the truck? I haven't done any fuel economy checks on this yet. I know I probably should, but I've been running, like, when I'm empty, I'm doing like 70, 75. And with the taller tires, like, it can't be doing that great. Like, I filled up earlier. I'd have to look at the logbook to see how many hours I ran. But I ran it down. I think This says 37%, so I don't know. The fuel economy is not as great as you'd think it would be, but that's probably because of the 35s and their mud terrain. So, and I'm doing 75 mile an hour. Other than that, though, I mean, it pulls a trailer great. Yeah, no, I would love to get some tint again, but I'm trying to avoid any violations with DOT. Like, I actually put mud flaps on the truck yesterday. Somehow, I got rid of the green lights, by the way, so they're amber. Somehow I passed my safety inspection on this truck for DOT. And what else do I need to do? I do have headlights coming, but I can't overnight them for some reason. Process of getting a Hotshot trailer and truck started hiking up 5K worth. Yeah, that's one thing I do like about this truck, though. It's like, I mean, any time that it breaks, I can fix it literally within a couple hours, depending on what it is. And I don't think even, like, what on this truck costs more than, like, a couple $100? Like, I got to do ball joints on it at some point, and it's like, what's that going to cost me? Like $200 and an afternoon, a couple beers. Like, it's not that bad. Power of the truck, I'm fairly impressed. It pulled that 8K trailer. Like, I was just cruising. I put the stock airbox on it so you can't hear the turbo. I'm cruising 70 miles an hour, 72 miles an hour all day at like 30 to 40 pounds of boost. And you don't feel it. It literally just goes. So I prefer this over the common rail at this point. This thing runs circles around the common rail as for usable power and response and fuel economy. Whereas the common rail made a lot more peak power, but it wasn't usable towing power. Like, it would make like 500 horsepower, but it's like, how much of that could you really use? And it was smoky. The 12 valve doesn't smoke like at all. So I'm super happy with it. Ooh, I like that. Torsion axles. So, funny enough, the ELD does not work with this truck because the motor's a 96. And apparently, like, you try to plug it in and it doesn't connect. So, on this truck specifically, I only have to run a regular logbook, so I'm running Keep Trucking. Exactly. What's up? Mud flaps. Yeah, these mud flaps, I picked up the trailer and the guy was like concerned. I literally took 2 wood screws on each side and just screwed them in. I am gonna do a nicer mud flap setup, but right now I just needed to be able to transfer the load without damaging it. So 285s you might get away without a spacer, but it's gonna be close. Honestly, with the 315s, you don't need a spacer. You can let them touch the whole way around, but the problem that I had was they started rubbing the leaf springs. It didn't cause any issues, but it definitely was wearing the inside of the tire. And after about 5,000 miles of that, I got rid of it. So a 2-inch spacer is what you need on the inside. How's PA in New York been with deleted trucks regarding it? I have actually not seen any, I haven't seen any issues with the deleted trucks in those 2 states. I've seen issues in Maryland. I've heard stories with Maryland, but I haven't seen any fines in New York or PA. I don't check U-Ship for any of that. I don't know if it's frowned upon or not. U-Ship's kind of like shitty from what I heard, but I don't. These guys, so the app that we're using for our dispatch, it'll actually pick like loads on our route and it'll send us to it, or it'll send it to us, and we can pick or choose if we want it or not. So that's kind of neat. Yeah, I don't know why mine was rubbing on the leaves. It would run, so like mine, it was kind of crooked. The one it would rub in the back and the one it would rub in the front. It was super weird. I don't think that that's a common thing though, because I've seen other people run them without the spacers. I mean, I did it. The wheels don't, I mean, they can touch all the way around, but that's the issue there. Yeah, this thing definitely pulls nice, and I'm enjoying the paper log. I literally have 2 minutes left on my drive time. I saw that it was like 40 or an hour and 15 minutes to get to this truck stop, and an hour and 15 minutes on my logbook. So I booked it. I was doing like 75 because I'm empty, so it doesn't matter. And it's a 70 mile an hour out here anyway, so I just made it. Personally, as for leasing under or having the own authority, the leasing under is simpler because you'll get your own dispatcher, they'll take care of all of that for you, like the payments, the 1099, like all of that, they'll take care of it. Whereas like running your own business, that's a pain. I want to start over leasing on. I might start my own transport business again one day. But for now, I'm going to enjoy leasing on, especially with what I was offered. Like, I am super happy with what I've got, and I'm going to run it for as long as, I can. But yeah, I'm happy with this company. Yeah, it seems like a lot of guys are doing, we did that on the tow trucks, because I had a 2011, 12, 14, 13, and 16, and every one of them that were deleted except the 12, they all had everything still on it. So next week, I'm not going to say too much about it, but it's looking like, in my head, I just kind of added the numbers up. Next week should be a good $5,000 gross week, with everything that's set up between all the runs that I'm doing. So even though I'm not making much this week, which I'll cover this in the video of what I made like gross, but next week it should just be about 5,000, which is actually, I'm happy with that considering I was only averaging in between 2 and 4,500 weekly by myself. So I am happy with that. What's up, Dan? I'm in Milwaukee, by the way. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Maryland and emissions. I can't confirm this, but I've heard 2 stories now where they were giving out $1 million fines to, I know it was an issue with tow trucks, but that's all I know. And I don't want to give any false information out. That's what I heard, but I can't confirm that because I didn't see it. So I'm just literally going off of what I've heard. I've heard worse stories with Maryland than I've heard with California, though, so that's kind of bad. California, I haven't heard anything bad. Or PA or New York. This is Bill and Ted. I'm not following the reference. Tried to lease onto someone, but they wouldn't let me with my 96. Yeah, so with the older trucks, you will run into companies that won't lease you on just because of that. You just got to keep looking. I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah, I mean, it's to be expected. Just keep on pushing. You'll find somebody eventually. Yeah. I see that. I was wondering what you said at first. I had to read that. But yeah, no, 10 years and newer. I mean, that sounds about right. Mine's an 04, and he was super happy to lease me on. But he's also seen, like, he was following my videos before, and he saw the stuff that I was pulling. By the way, no more 48-foot kitchens. Thank God I'm done with those. I don't ever want to touch another one of them. Absolutely back to trucking. I couldn't turn down the money, though. Like, and not only that, but I still have customers message my broker, and people still want me to keep moving stuff for them, and it's like, I just can't. So I finally decided, you know what? The money was good. I'm kind of bored sitting around PA, just kind of doing the mobile mechanic stuff and helping out with, another job. And I don't know. I felt like it was the time to get back into it. Justin, a lot of times they won't bother you. DOT won't really bother you for that. It's, as long as you're not blowing out a shit ton of smoke, you should be all right. Yeah, I went to California 5 times in 2019, and I mean, I was always worried about being in there, but I never had an issue. I know nothing about Horizon. I've heard people talking about them, but I have no information on them. Is it possible to lease on for a couple months out of the year? That would depend on the company, I would assume. I would assume some people would be okay with that and then others not. Most of the time they want you to commit, but you might be able to figure that out. As for, see, I don't know if you're talking campers or freight though with leasing on a couple months. That would probably be a better question for Alex. Might be able to help you better with that one if he ever answers his DMs. Pop back in. No idea what you're talking about yet. My advice is stuff in Canada. Oh my god. The wrap. We will decide on a wrap later. Let me get some financials taken care of first. And yes, the truck will get wrapped. I don't know if I'm gonna do pink, but it will get wrapped. When I get roadside, I turn the truck off immediately before the officer even gets out of his cruiser. Oh, I don't worry about it. I'll bump this thing into high idle, and when I have the VGT, I turn the VGT on and everything. You hear this thing whistle. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything bad about Alex. Him and I are on good terms and everything. He still calls me for stuff. But I'd say leave that up to interpretation per person. I mean, some people like him, some people don't. It's just, I look at everything, take everything with a grain of salt, I guess. Just kind of, you know, view everything at, like, don't just take one guy's advice over everything. So it's like, he does put out some good information. I still do learn a couple of things from him here and there, but it's like, just don't listen to, like, everything. Always get a second opinion on stuff. Come on, Pink. Maybe. I don't know yet. We'll see. Very hard with insurance costs. Get your own lease on with your own authority. As for the insurance on, like doing what I'm doing, insurance is super cheap. For the non-trucking insurance, it's actually can be cheaper than your regular car insurance. So, and I have the company I'm leasing under covers my cargo insurance, so I don't have to pay any of that. I just have to cover my own non-trucking insurance. We'll have to do a vote. I'll tell you what, Joe. We'll do a vote at some point on. We'll do a vote on what we should wrap this truck. I'll get a pic. I'll get a picture of Alex for, like, the back, like they do with Trump on the back window. I'll put him on the back window. Safe travels, Justin. Yeah, I'm not shutting this truck off, so it's definitely warm in here. Come on, Joe. Dan, so I'm running the factory fan on the 12 valve. I actually can't get this thing to warm up with the 185 thermostat from the factory. I actually, where is it? So I went, this is a thermostat for a older big block Dodge. It's the same diameter and everything. It's a 195. When I get back, I'm throwing that in, and I'm gonna see if I can't get this thing to heat up. I actually put a piece of cardboard in front of the radiator, like blocked the entire radiator, and then it got to 220, and I'm like, well, that's perfect. Well, I mean, that's a little hot, but it would have been nice for it to actually stay warm but not overheat, so I had to take that off. I have it in front of the condenser now, and I can't get higher than like 185. It's ridiculous. This thing cools down way too much. Like, it's sitting at 167 right now. Like, that's just terrible. I like the army green. That's not a bad idea. Additives, I definitely recommend running them. As for am I running additives, I am not. I used Hotshot Secret when I blew up my motor the first time. I kind of dumped like half a gallon of that, like, I don't even know what it was called. Like friction modifier added, I don't even know. I dumped that in there hoping it would do something. It didn't, because I had already broken a compression ring, so that's not the product's fault. But as for the injectors, I definitely recommend running an additive for the injectors. And there is videos on YouTube which ones, like, they did tests on them. So I would watch them because I don't have a say on which one's the best. I was told to use Howell's from my supplier, but I'm finding out that they're not actually the best, so I haven't been running anything. Yeah, those fans, I'm gonna have, like, I don't know. I might consider it eventually. I want to see how this thing acts with the 195 thermostat before I start upgrading stuff, because I still want to do a second gen swap. I have an HE351 at home with a 12 valve manifold. I just need to get a downpipe and a couple other things, but I have like another couple grand that needs to get spent on the truck, and I'm just trying to like keep that money aside just in case something else happens. So, oh my God, Joe. Chinese diesel heaters. Yeah, they do. Oh my goodness. We'll take a vote on the wrap eventually. Let me get some stuff taken care of first. Y'all are crazy. Yeah, so if you have an automatic, as for the transmission cooler, I'm going to go off of the Dodges because these are what I'm used to. If you get an 06 Dodge, I'm just going to use that one for example, they have a heat exchanger. It's on the side of the block. I 100% recommend getting rid of that in general. What happens is they leak internally, and when they start leaking, you won't know about it, and you will need a transmission on the spot because you'll get coolant in your transmission fluid and vice versa. So I recommend getting rid of that and getting a second cooler, because you'll have the front cooler. Make sure that that's in good condition, and then get a secondary auxiliary cooler with a fan. You can put it wherever you want. I put mine under the truck when I was running a 48 RE. It did work very well. So yeah, I definitely recommend a second transmission cooler and to get rid of the heat exchanger that's already on the truck. Because actually with the heat exchanger, your transmission's always going to run around 180 anyway. And I like to run mine like generally like 140, 160, like in that area, because the cooler you can keep it to a point. The cooler you can keep it, the longer it's going to stay alive. So yeah, we'll have to see about that, Dan. I don't know if you were here before. I'm going to go to New Mexico next week, so I don't know. My plans are going to be hectic for a little while. I know you're aren't you northwest of me by like a good couple hours? I wouldn't mind getting this thing retinted, to be honest, but I don't want to get any more tickets. Come on, Joe. Oh, man. I have nothing against the Ford 6.7s. I have more against the friggin' Cummins 6.7. Cummins needs to get their shit together, because I'm telling you what, I will not buy any of this Fiat garbage. I love the look and the interior on the new Rams, but good God, I will never own one. It's horrible. And I hate the look of the Fords. So, and it's like the Fords seem to be the one that are reliable now. So it's like, I can get the truck I like that's unreliable, or I can get the truck I don't like and it's reliable and gets better fuel economy. I hate to say it, I'm kind of leaning more towards like the newer Chevys, but I don't like the independent front suspension. If you have an automatic, as for the gauges, EGT, boost, I would say fuel pressure is a good one. Oil pressure, if you don't have a gauge, I would say probably those four. I use the tuner for my EGT, so I have oil pressure, fuel pressure, and boost, and then my EGT's on the tuner. Yeah, you're not wrong about idling at night. I'm just doing it. I know Alex did a video on this before. Next week, I would like to do a video on how much fuel it actually costs me specifically to idle. I idle at about 1,000 RPMs overnight, every night. So I kind of want to do a video on it and break it down, like what the actual cost is. And I have a generator, so when I get that working, we'll see how that goes. ATS is pretty good, and the auxiliary cooler. Oh wow, that's hot. What, 225 coolant temp or 225 trans temp? Because if you're running 225 trans temp, definitely throw another cooler in there. I don't like to see over 200 when I'm towing. But I have a manual now, so I can't really say much anyway. On a commercial vehicle, like, you're limited to 70% tint on a personal vehicle, but on a commercial vehicle, if you get caught with tint, it's an automatic fine depending on the officer. Yeah, you can tint the back though as dark as you want, but so this one back here, I like to leave this one non-tinted so I can just pull that off so I can hook to a trailer easier. Cummins seems like they're moving their plant to China. Shit's awful. Yeah, I'd love to have my windows tinted, Dan, but I don't want to mess around with the cops anymore because I had 3% before. I was always getting tickets, but now that I'm commercial and I have DOT numbers, now they're really going to be looking at me. 7.3 only hits 134 in the winter and 170 tops. Coolant, wow, that's low. I can't comment on the 12.7 engines. I don't know too much about them, if anything, actually. I've heard of them, that's about it. Yeah, Chris, the Rams are just Fiat garbage at this point. Brent, I like the 12 valve because it's completely mechanical, whereas the 7.3 you still had electronics. So they were, as for the simplest diesel, the 12 valve is it. The 7.3 probably a close second, but I've heard a lot of things fail around the 7.3, whereas the 7.3 is a great engine. It's like the starters, the trannies, and like all the other little things fail around it. Kind of starts sounding like a Dodge, but I wouldn't have minded having one, but I'm probably going to end up buying another 3rd gen at some point. Yeah, Elijah, he somehow got over 500K with his. I don't know. I've seen a lot of horror stories where they're not even making it that far. As for the ball joints, Chris, I bought this truck at 315. I'm at 466 right now. And I'm just now needing to replace my first ball joint. So I'm going to do all 4. But I have heard that they do eat ball joints pretty bad. Yeah, that might be normal, but it's definitely killing the longevity of that transmission, in my opinion. You generally want to keep the heat out of them. Yeah, Chris says that's too hot too. The thing is, though, once it's out of warranty, you have to pay for it. So it's like they'll tell you whatever you want to hear. No, that's what this is for. I'm not painting it. I can pull this off and I can hook to the trailer. I'll have to do that with mine, although I've had no issues. Newer Rams or business trucks tow every day, no problem. See, and that's the thing, Andrew. I see so many people, like, it's like 50-50, but if you get a 19 or a 20, good God help you. Like, they have so many issues, but like the 4th gens from, like, I'd like to say 2010 up to 2018, it's a hit or miss. Some of them great, and then the rest are awful. It's hard to say. I mean, I know the 2016 Ram 5500s had problems with valve stems dropping. I went through that. I also had to replace a motor on my 13, so it's like kind of shitty. Fritz, that's a hard one. Everything you do is going to affect fuel economy. So it's like, I'm learning now, if I like something, I'm just going to run it and not worry about the fuel economy. But generally, your best bet is stock tires with stock, like straight tread tires with like stock wheels. Those commercial grade tires that you can run, you might get better fuel economy, but they're taller, so you'll want that higher gear ratio to make up for it. So whether or not you'll get better or worse fuel economy, I couldn't tell you. But you will get longer life out of the tires, though, depending on which ones you're running. I do think the 22.5 is a little overkill, but I'm not going to be the guy to tell you how to run your truck, because if you like something, I wouldn't listen to anybody else either. But 19.5 seem to be like the perfect, if you get like the good tire on. I love that comment. 12.7, very solid. If it stops leaking, it's out of oil. That's how I feel about my 12 valve. I get like one little drip out the breather tube every now and again, but it doesn't leak. Yeah, I also got rust prevention on my Dodge. Yeah, Chris, that's so bad. At 135,000 miles, and I know that's not under warranty, so they're like, you're gonna have to pay for it. $780K, Jesus. I hope to see that mileage in general on this truck. Because for some people get mad at me because I'm still running this truck over a new one. It's kind of crazy, but I don't know. They keep coming back and watching, so. The 7.3 power stroke, that's lots of parts, keep the motor running whenever it's strong, though. Yeah, with the 12 valve, though, this thing makes better power than the common rail did. It doesn't make more power, it makes more consistent and usable power than the common rail did. So with the mechanical motor, like, I was pulling the 8,000 pound trailer, it was pushing 40 pounds of boost, just no problem. I was pulling it at 72 miles an hour, up hills and everything. It was great. Yeah, every truck does have its flaws. It's a shame we can't get one good truck. It is 2021, and then you got the EPA messing with everything. 09. I did a motor in a 5500 in 08, 5500, 6.7. But I think that truck was run low on oil. We also did a motor on a 2013 5500. That motor lost an injector and seized the motor, actually. The number 6 piston was seized to the block. And then the 2016, we had a valve drop. Oof. 88. That I don't know. For the IDI F350, I don't know if you'd be able to find any companies to. I'm sure you could, but most companies don't want such an old truck. I think that's cool. I mean, I would probably, if I had my old company, I'd probably lease that on. 3rd gen 6.7. What about? I wasn't expecting to get so many questions or comments and everything, so that's awesome. I definitely appreciate you guys. I mean, as like 3rd gen 6.7, I don't know what you're asking about it, but they weren't, like, they were new, so they did have their little issues, but they also, like, once you work around those issues, they weren't bad, because I think they only had the EGR and a catalytic converter, so, like, once you get rid of that, I mean, it was pretty simple. Yeah, I've seen a lot of CP4 failures. That's not too bad. 18 MPG empty and 12 pulling the trailer. I mean, I've seen single digits with my other 5.9, so I know I'm getting better fuel economy in the 12 valve than I was my common rail. Yeah, Cummins went back to CP3 in 2021. .488 gears. I'm jealous. I want to do 444s in my truck because the mud tires make people angry. So I want to do 444s with the mud tires and run Hotshot with it just because somebody will get offended by it. Oh, And speaking of the 488 gears, so I can do at like 72 or 80 miles an hour. I have a picture of it somewhere. Like 80 miles an hour, my RPMs are like just over 2,000. It's insane how low they are with the 373s. Yeah, Beardless, you're not wrong. 80,000 for a truck to be in the shop all the time. Yeah, I'll pass too. Yeah, Chris, I'm with you there with power only too. I find myself in a lot more off-road situations than I would if I had like a car hauler or something. No credit to be keeping a new old truck. Yeah, I'd rather keep the old truck than a new truck. What do you think about haul and tow setups for RVs? I'm not. Wait, haul and tow setups for RVs. Like, what do you mean? So it's been a while since I've been back in it, so I might not understand some of it. Like, 80K, I'm buying a used semi at that point. Yeah. That's the name of the game. Third gen with no motor, and I want to put a second gen 24 valve BP. As for the third gen with the second gen 24 valve, I would probably recommend P-pumping it because that would be badass. I thought about doing that. The VP44 had problems, but if you can keep good fuel in the VP44, they'll survive. So just make sure you get a good lift pump. Oh my God, Joe. You know, if I paint the truck pink, it's probably gonna bleed oil for like 7 days and somehow still have oil in it. I don't know. Weird. Breakdown's gonna be a no. Yeah. I do know breakdowns going to be a minimal with companies to justify keeping a truck on though. Yeah, so like with mine, I like that I can fix it quick. So that's basically the goal. Anytime like I can fix something off duty, I'm going to try to do that. But for the most part, like I was able to get out there and I'm almost back and I haven't had a single issue yet. So I'm super happy with that. Yes, it does. I don't know why. Like, it gets the hate. I don't know. I mean, I don't care. More views, I guess. I'll take it. Yeah, I sold the wheel lift a while back, actually. I sold that probably back in February. Not, it was probably before February. It was probably like late January. Yeah, it's been gone a while. Wow, you guys are blowing up the comments. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm actually borderline not even able to keep up. I'm so far behind. Michael, third gen 6.7, have an 07, 175,000 miles, got it new with 15 miles on it, no DEF fluid, has EGR and the crap under the truck. No engine or trans problems. That's awesome. That's good to hear. Those older trucks seem to be the way to go. Yeah. That's what'll happen to the truck. It'll spit out oil for 7 days straight and be perfectly fine for the rest if I paint it pink. What trailer brake controller are you running? Let me look, because I don't even know. Actually, I've had this thing for a while. Primus? I don't even think that I put this thing on the truck. It was on here when I got it. So I wonder how cold it is outside. I was gonna go outside here. All right, I'm gonna take this outside. Let me see. Okay. Donate to the Pink Fund. Yes, I know. We'll get there. Give it time. 07 for me is new. Very nice. Yeah, I definitely like my 04. I do like the third gens. Sorry if you can't hear me over this motor, but I want to go over how salty this thing is quick. All right, so look at all the salt. I need to go wash it. Ugh. Just kind of screwed these in. This thing is filthy. Even the hitch has salt on it, and somehow we got snow in the box. So it is pretty decently cold out here. Also, amber cab lights. Ugh. Oof. Yeah, it's pretty decently cold out there. 20 likes, wow. You guys are awesome. I think I missed a bunch of, okay, there we go. I missed a bunch of comments. 07, okay, let's make this pink happen. My God. I do want to wrap it, but I don't know that pink is the answer. It's almost $500 in the pot. Jesus, y'all are savages. I like just, I don't know if any of you guys watch Gabe Farrell. I like the wrap that he just did with like the half marble. I kind of like that marble, to be honest, but I know it was expensive. Wish you could invest in a YouTube channel. Oh, come on. You know, I'm like slowly. I'm like Load Miser. He blew up pretty good. Yeah, the salt sucks. I was gonna go to the Blue Beacon, but I wasn't able to find one. But it's less than 32 degrees, so I don't even care. I'm just gonna let it sit. Nice, Michael. ATS is pretty decent. Yeah, Elijah, so yeah, I'm hauling just trailers in general, anything 17K GVWR and less. It is only temporary. I will be getting into probably car hauling, like non-CDL. And even if I do go get my CDL, which there is a possibility, I'm still going to run non-CDL because I really don't want to, like, this truck, it's a 2500 pickup truck with a dually axle. Like, I don't want to be pulling insane amount of weight like I used to. That's what killed the truck in the first place. So I'm happy just, with the overhead that I have, I can make money doing it. And I'm happy with it, even if I did get my CDL. Yeah, it does. The 12 valve is actually, I've noticed, superiorly quiet to the 24 valve out the exhaust. Like, there is almost no drone in the cab for the 12 valve, whereas my 24 valve would rattle your head. Yeah, it looks good dirty because of all the paint that's messed up. So, need to keep the salt on there so it looks better. AZ, I am in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm at the Loves. So if any of you guys are at the Loves, come out here. I'm looking to get some Denny's. Yeah, so with the cab lights, I liked the green because they kind of stood out and you could see them from a distance. So like anybody, like, hey, I'm coming over, and they'd know immediately it was me. I've been pulled over with the green cab lights on at least 10 times, and not one cop has ever said anything. It's weird, but I know that DOT will probably hassle me on it, so I just went ahead and did it just to do it. But I have never gotten any fines for it. Unit. Oh, Chris, we didn't vote yet. Let me get some ideas in my head first, and we will do some votes. Chris and Chris. If it blows up when I'm running Hotshot, I am telling you right now, I will have one of you guys bring me a 12 valve engine. I don't care where it's from, as long as it's P-pumped, And we will slap that bitch in on wherever the hell I'm at. We will slap that bitch in on the side of the highway. I don't care. And it will make good content. How many pink hotshots are there on YouTube? That's a good point. I don't know why you do this. Why do you guys do this to me? Pink. All the truckers will be running up on Steve trying to do some window shopping. Oh my god. You know what? We need to get a blow-up doll to ride passenger. I think that'll turn some heads. We'll see how the truck does. I was fairly impressed with the first load, but it was only 8,000 pounds. Let's get some 17Ks back there. Oh, so speaking of the no chains and all that, I'm gonna say now, if someone ever needs tire recommendations and they're not doing transport, say you're doing like, you just need tires in general, I cannot say enough good things about these Ironman mud tires. I was doing 70 plus miles an hour the other night in that snowstorm. And the truck went straight the entire night for like 6 or 7 hours through it. Whereas everybody else was doing like 40, 50. It went straight. Now don't get me wrong, you'd hit the throttle and you could lose control. But anytime I'd let off the throttle or need to stop, it would stop. Anytime I needed to go forward, it would go forward. And I didn't touch four-wheel drive once. Not at all. So I cannot say enough good things about these things. It's a dual disc clutch from South Bend, and it is an NB 5600 with 465,000 miles on it, and no proof that it was ever replaced. Y'all in this pink, God. Yeah, ideas could be a bad thing. You can wear pink shirts with the company name. Oh goodness. Stick on the deal. Oh my god. You go half pink, half black, and just say that's your ladies' half of it. Oh, wow. I wouldn't mind the half and half, but, like, Gabe's already done that, and I don't want to copy him. It's pretty gnarly. Thank you. They have pink tow trucks in Minneapolis called Camel Tow. Oh, come on. I feel like I've seen them before. Oh, man. You know, you're not wrong, Joe. Why do you gotta do this to me? I gotta start getting pricing on a wrap. Y'all are killing me. Give me a few weeks to recoup some of the money I spent to get back into this. Probably want the 410 or the lower with 17. I pulled that much stock years ago. Yeah, so, Elijah, I'm running 35s, and that's why I would like to go with 444s. Because I'm already at 373, so for me to jump to 410 isn't really all that much. I can do, with that trailer I had, not that I was going to do it, but I could probably do 85 miles an hour down the highway, and my RPMs would only be 2,500 at 85. So I would really like to do the 444s. The engine is a 96, and I'd have to look at the serial number. It's on there somewhere. Joe, you're very convincing. Magenta. How many power only drops do you think you will be making in a day now that you're back? Honestly, like, I like doing the longer hauls. So next week, I'm going, New Mexico seems to be where I'm going. So I don't know how many days it's going to take to get over there and how much my logbook allows me to do, because I have one of those now. It kind of sucks. So yeah, I'll be doing 2 trailers that would be paid out technically this week. So like, yeah, this week. So I've only done 2 loads this week, and then next week it will be 3. Well, 3 or 4 next week actually, but it's going to be cutting it close to that Friday. Notification gang? Is the notifications on? Because I noticed mine was weird too with notifications. Like, it wouldn't tell me, it wouldn't notify me until I clicked into YouTube and then, hey, someone's live streaming, and then I missed it. Pink camo's not a bad idea. You do a pink truck, I'll jump in the snow on live in a Canadian thong. You trying hard. Calling Horizon, I hear they don't allow any tint though, and all my windows have tint on them. So, in general, you can't have tint on a commercial vehicle on the front windshield or the front sides. You can only have them in the back. DOT will hassle you about that. Joe would be a good salesman. You are allowed, yeah, you can tint where that little mark is up there on the windshield. You can tint above that just fine. But honestly, that kind of sucks. I'd like to tint 3 inches lower. But I don't know about the side window, because I thought about doing the bottom 3 on the side windows themselves. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, up here. I wouldn't mind doing that just to help keep some sun out. Yeah, 5 inches will get you on the front windshield. They'll hassle you about that. I'm running just a regular logbook. No ELDs required because the engine's a 96. And I think the cutoff is 2000. I don't know if 2000s have to run them. I think it's 2000 and back doesn't, but somebody can correct me in the comments. I thought about the visor too, but I'm probably not going to. Joe knows how to have a good time. No, so I will be filming the pickups, drop-offs, all of that, depending on like how they feel when I'm there. I like to time-lapse all that, but I like to go over the trailers too, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to go over all my numbers of what I made. So I'll be doing that more, but I can only upload like one video. Like, I'll be back Friday. I can't do any editing in the truck because I don't have an inverter yet. I kind of set a lot of money aside for some other things, so there's like, I probably have like a little over $1,000 worth of stuff in my Amazon cart right now that I'm just waiting to order. I just need to recoup some of the money that I'm already into this like $3,000, which isn't a lot, but it's like at the same time, it's still like $3,000. So I'm like, I have another like probably 2 that I want to spend. Yeah, I missed my 3% tint. Bumper pool mostly. Bumper pools seem to be what I am getting more of, I think is what I have scheduled. But I do enjoy doing the fifth wheels more than anything. But bumper pools seem to be the main thing. Heavy bumper pool, like a lot of tongue weight bumper pools. What's up? Absolutely. I got 2 batteries. I got all the power. And a 0 fuel plate and a turbo that likes to do 40 pounds of boost cruising down the highway. I have an inverter in my Amazon cart that I want to run. It's like $150. It's like, it's strong enough to run the microwave, so I'm good with that. I watch JC Smith very rarely. I think he does some cool stuff. 4 days, New Mexico. Well, I'm gonna do it in 2. To use the sway bar on the bumper pulls. I do not. I have never. I've pulled 40-foot bumper pull campers before. Let me tell you, they are sketchy as hell when you're going like through the mountains and stuff and it's windy. I've had dealerships laugh at me and tell me I wouldn't make it, and I still made it, but it's sketchy. I have never hooked up a sway control to any of these trailers ever. And I have not crashed a single one, and I've had no issues. Now, if it gets windy, I do pull over and stop. Saw someone today with a trailer bumper pool with a trailer on it. Another trailer. Yeah, I've seen that sketchy stuff too, with the trailers towed by trailers.
$150 miles from home location, less than 8 working days. Wait, okay. Joe, that's how I felt about my 06. You'd give it more throttle, it wouldn't go anywhere, it would just make more noise. So if you ever wanted to pass a bicyclist, yeah, you'd scare the shit out of them because you wouldn't go any faster. As for this thing though, I'm fairly impressed with the power of the 12 valve over the power of the common rail. Like, this thing just, I don't get it. This thing is so responsive. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you don't have a wastegate actuator. Be looking down at the boost gate, just chilling, whatever, and I'm like, I look over and I'm like, 40? Okay. It's terrible. No head studs either, so you know we're gonna go through a head gasket. Pink, maybe. I guess I have to consider the pink. Y'all are crazy. Have you tried to make your own fuel? So as for making my own fuel, I mean, Love's mixes their fuel with a lot of water, so I guess it saves them money, but not me any. Is it normal to hear wastegate loading? To hear wastegate. You'll hear the exhaust get louder when the wastegate actually opens. By like maybe a minor amount because it's bypassing the turbo, but yeah. These trucks make weird noises when you're pulling. This thing's actually fairly tame for what it is. You know, that gauge cluster I said I'd fix, I haven't had the time to send it out. I really haven't. It's... Let me flip you around. Look at that. Look at that. You can't even... So the miles, it's 465, 465, no. 462,500. And then I come up here, and I hit this button, and then I add this to it, and that's how I know how many miles. So... that's how I've been doing that. Literally the only thing wrong with this truck right now, believe it or not, is the instrument cluster and a ball joint. I'm losing comments. Alright, record of duty status. I have a logbook on my phone. 3rd gen 5.9, I can hear it blowing off under the hood. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'd have to hear that to like kind of be able to tell you, but it's kind of hard to, it's kind of hard to diagnose anything without seeing it. I like the burnt copper wrap idea. The people have spoken. Yeah, this again. Yeah, they do weird things when you're pulling. If it's doing it under acceleration, there might be an issue. As long as you're not like fluctuating the throttle. Stay safe. Everybody's saying pink. Good God, y'all. I think you have said in the past your truck is a 2500. So I'm gonna say the time where a 2500 with a dually axle helps is when you're a non-CDL and you're pulling power only, because you're allowed to pull up to a 17K GVWR trailer because this is 9,000. Now you still have to watch your weights to make sure you're not over 26,000. But if you were to get a regular dually, I think the GVWR is like 13 something on even the older trucks. So you're cutting out 4,000 pounds worth of trailers. So now you're limited to a 13,000 pound trailer. And a lot of these campers are in between 14 and 16K. So if you have a new truck that's say a 14K GVWR and you're non-CDL, you're only allowed to pull a 12,000 pound trailer. You have absolutely no reason to have a dually at that point. So it's like, that's the only way it helps. I just kind of, I bought this truck because I liked it back in the day. I knew nothing about what a 25 or 3500 was. I just bought it because I thought it looked cool. So, but that's where it helps. I still have a 9,000 pound GVWR, but I have an 11,000 pound axle rating in the back. So it's like, it's kind of weird. The axle rating's higher than the weight rating. Yes, I know, I see that. I'm trying to get mine fixed. I don't have the green lights anymore. I don't want to get in trouble legally. I don't want any more fines. That's why I don't have tint either. Fucking Joe. Military tan's not a bad idea. I do want it. I want to make sure that when I get a wrap, though, it is obnoxious. I want something that will stick out. Now, whether that's good or bad, I don't know. Check engine light for a fuel pump, and it went off for a couple months when I drove the truck daily, and now it's back on. The tank is over a quarter. Just upgrade to a FAS. I haven't had any, like, I would verify your fuel pump, like get a fuel pressure gauge. Mine sits at like, mine puts out like 11 PSI, and then it's feeding the factory fuel pump on the block, which then bumps it up to like, I think it's sitting at 21 right now, which I think is low, but oh well. Yeah. Even with, so the 2500 with the dually swap, this thing does sway a lot less, even though it's still technically a 3/4 ton. I've seen too much chameleon. Neon green's kind of getting old too, to be honest. Let me see. So the third generation Dodges, the 2500 and 3500s had the same brakes. The only difference between the brakes on the two is in the rear, your rotor will physically bolt to the spacer from the backside. Air Dog or FAS, either or. Greg likes Air Dog. I've heard good or bad from either or. Half pink, half purple. I don't want to do the half because Gabe Farrow already did it, and I don't want to copy him. I kind of do want to be original with it. Yes, I have airbags on the truck. That last trailer I pulled, I put it up to like 50 pounds. It had a lot of ton weight. I just want one color, Joe. Damn it, I just want one color. Or a camo color, or like marble. Marble's badass, but I don't want to copy him. Temperature changing wrap. That's not a bad idea, but I think that's out of the budget. I don't have like 10 grand to throw at a wrap. The dually swap only cost me $800, but I guarantee you won't find it for that price. Like the axle, all 6 wheels and tires, and the front hub that bolt on, like, expect about 2 grand if you're gonna do it yourself. Oh, I hate chrome. Oh, I hate chrome. Sorry, it's just COVID. Orange. I like orange. Yeah, 2004 and a half, they might have upgraded the brakes, but the 2500 and 3500s were still the same. Airlift 5000 is good, and also Firestone. Either or, you can't go wrong with either one of them. As for the heavy duty option, I don't know. I don't know the differences between them, but I'm pretty sure that the brakes were the same on every model 25 and 3500, regardless of dually, single wheel, trim package. I'm pretty sure that they're all the same. Joe, that's kind of, yeah, I like camo, pink, purple, pink base, purple inlet. It's not a bad idea. Make every panel a different color. No. You know how much it annoyed me when the truck was black, the bed was red, the flares were silver, and the cap was silver? Like, that annoyed me so bad, I can't do it. Spray paint it. Yeah, so as for the adapters with the dualies, you can take a 2-inch spacer and physically bolt dually wheels up. You need a 2-inch spacer to clear the caliper, but the dually axles are 2 3/4 of an inch wider on each side. So it's like 5.5 inches total width wider. Yeah, I can't confirm that, Elijah. I don't know. I'm not going to say you're right or wrong, because I can't confirm it, so I don't want to give you false information. That's why when I say something, I'll say I could be wrong, but because I can't confirm it. Yeah, so you do need to replace the rear axle to make it a true dually. The front, the axles were the same on the 25 and 3500. You literally just need to bolt the hub. There's a hub spacer on there, and it's held on with 8 lug nuts, and that's literally from the factory. You can take that off of any 3500, and it's basically a 2500 axle under there. You can put 2500 wheels on it. I mean, I feel like this thing is pretty Frankenstein. I mean, we got a 96 motor, a 2003 turbo, a dually axle under it. Good God, what else have I done to it? I feel like it was worse a while ago. I had a lot more done to it. Yeah, because I had a 2012 turbo on it. I don't like the Volkswagens like that. Yeah, 17-inch rims. One panel white. That would bother the hell out of me. I wouldn't mind doing the hood in like a charcoal gray like tattered flag, and then having people sign it, but I don't know. In case my name goes in the box. Come on, Joe. It's dirty as shit right now. Yeah, the front spacer, I don't know how wide it is, but I have the front spacer and then a 2-inch hub-centric spacer on top of that. $3,500 liner. The I don't know what you mean by the liner. I rub like a motherfucker because of the fender flares. Yes, absolutely. They do rub the paint off, and that's why, because I took them off once to take them off for good, and there was a lot of paint missing, so I put them back on. I wouldn't mind painting this whole truck charcoal gray, to be honest. Oh, I have no idea. They shouldn't be that heavy, but I really don't know. I would just use an engine grain to pull the box off. That's what I've done. Every one of mine with an engine grain. What the hell's he doing out there? Dude, look at this dude. Dude's out there plowing snow in the Love's truck. rip any of the fender liners out. Yeah, I like charcoal gray. Clear rub, even with protective film on my flares. Yeah, my clear's gone. It's rusting. Yeah, the bed was a true dually bed. I went to Connecticut and bought it. It cost me like $100 in Connecticut to go pick it up. I think I was in the trip like $400 total. Damn, what time is it? I'm getting all these messages. There we go. Did that kick out? Is that how that works? Replace the cracked fiberglass fender. I might just send it, but I don't know. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Damn, we got 34 people in here and 34 likes. That's a ratio I can get behind. Sounds good, Chris. Safe travels. Oh, 35 likes and 34 viewers. There we go. 36. I definitely appreciate you guys. You're gonna do cars? Yes, eventually. Yes, there's still a hole there. I'm gonna ignore that too. I'm on a super time crunch. Like super time crunch. Like I need to be back in Carlisle, or no, I need to be back in Enola by Friday night, like at 3:30, and I have to pick up in Ohio tomorrow and drop in Maryland, and I'm really hoping that I make it on time. Oof. Wisconsin. Jeez, yeah, the likes did jump up pretty good. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Bro, what do you mean you broke down in Alabama? What'd you do? I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Coming from the guy who breaks down more than anybody, me. I know, so with the 2-car, I know Kaufman makes a decent 2-car. It's got a 12K GVWR, which I know is low, but it's super light. So a 2-car would be fine. It's really light. Elijah, I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking about just sending it right over it. When have I not? Because like I looked up the prices of new fenders when I was doing the snorkel, and I was like, let's just put a hole in it. It's $80 for a fender. Yeah, cars are simple. Like whereas freight, you have to like start stacking a bunch of stuff. Cars are pretty simple. I can do 3 cars with my setup with the trailer that I want to get, but I'm probably going to do 2 for the most part. Safe travels, Michael. I have an exhaust tip. It's a what is it? It's a 5x8. I can stick my head in it. And it passed inspection. I have a weed burner exhaust, not an axle dump, it's a weed burner. So to break even with what I like spent already, I mean, I should be able to like recoup everything in a couple weeks, no problem. With the money that they're telling me that I'm gonna be making, I'm fairly certain it won't take more than like a week or 2 to recoup everything and then start profiting, especially with how low my overhead is. So I'm using my savings right now to pay for everything and my bills and all that, and then I will probably within the next week or 2 have all of that back. So But as for percentages, I will probably discuss that in the video that I'm going to be putting out probably Saturday, probably this weekend sometime. I'll put a video out of everything. So yeah, ice melter, absolutely. You start it up and the ice is gone. What's up, Robert? Appreciate you. Oh, I thought you were asking me if I needed an exhaust tip. Yeah, I don't have any laying around. Amazon, you can get one for like 40 bucks. That's where I got mine. Price per cars, that's a hard one to answer because it depends on if it's going short haul or long haul. And if you're doing short haul, generally you don't want to charge by the mile. You want to charge by, like, if it's going to take you a whole day to do it, you know, you're not going to charge by the mile. You're not going to make any money. Like, if it's a couple hours away, like, it's kind of hard to charge like that. Pink on Saturday. I don't even have any pink. Hey, somebody tag, if any of you guys have me on Facebook, tag me in the link to this live stream so that the people on my Facebook can see it, because I don't think I can leave. And I don't have Facebook on my other phone. Yeah, like, if generally, like, you have a certain amount of money you want to make per day that you need to make per day, if it's only going to take you a couple hours, you generally want to use that as like a minimal. Pink is on the back burner. Y'all are crazy. I don't want to do just pink though. Like, if I'm going to do pink, and I hate to even say that I'm doing pink, but if I'm going to do pink, I want to throw some designs in it. So it's like, if we could do like a pink marble, that might be better, but also at the same time, I'm not rich. I do have some things that I need done, paid for in the back haul, so. Oh my God. Y'all. Oh man. Joe, you see, if you're still in here, Joe, you see what you've done. I don't know why you do this. Everybody is on board with pink for some reason. 20-foot RV, trailer frame. I want to build into a deck over it if I put like a ramp set up. 20-foot definitely will not fit 2 cars. 30-foot, I believe, is what you'd want. Like 30 or 32 foot is what you'd want for 2 cars. A 20-foot, I had a 20-foot car trailer, and it would literally just fit 1. I don't want to do pink. This is like, if you go back and scroll up through the comments and everybody wants pink, I don't really want to do pink. I wanted to do something like a lot different than pink. Oh, no, that's too far. No Cummins C. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. See, there we go. Now we're getting some people that don't want pink. That's what I want. I need a color that is very controversial that's not pink. I don't really want to do pink. I like the darker colors. Sweet. Thanks for tagging me in it. If anybody else has me on Facebook, tag me in the link. Like, blow that shit up. I probably only have 1, though. Not many people follow my Facebook. By the way, I do want to let you guys know, since there's like 35 of you here, I have an Instagram, a business page for Facebook, and a regular Facebook page. If you ever have questions about random bullshit, like to do with trucks, or you need something looked at, or like you just like genuine questions or anything, hit up either, like, the links are down in the description on my videos. the business page or my Instagram work for that. And if you just like to see somebody shit post and just post like dumb stuff all day, then my regular Facebook is fine, because I literally just post a lot of dumb stuff. But I'm not very good at responding to people that just want to talk. I'm kind of like, I'm very antisocial, believe it or not. And I kind of just, but if somebody genuinely needs help, I always try to answer those questions. But I've never really been just a talker. I'm just kind of, I don't know. I don't have the motivation or energy to talk to people for some reason. I don't know. I have problems, but anybody that actually needs help, though, I always go out of my way to try to make sure that they're helped. So, and if I can save somebody money or time, I absolutely love that I can do that. So feel free, any of the links down in the description of another video, because I don't think I set any up here, but any description, go add my Facebook, go like my business page, or follow me on Instagram. Either or, I do respond on those pages. Olive green's neat. That would be the coolant. 7 days leaking coolant. Company colors. I don't know. No, I don't. So I don't want to paint the truck. I want to wrap it. Like, I want to get a wrap that is really loud, like kind of gets people's attention. If you look at like Street Speed, for example, he did a really, really crazy wrap with his Corvette, and that's ultimately what blew his channel up. So that's what I want to do. I want to like get more viewers, and like I want to make a statement, and just I mean I enjoy it, but I just want to do something that other people haven't done. I want to be as original, but pink is just Robert, I had another channel before this one. It got hacked. I had 214 videos. So this channel, this one's new. I started it back in January last year, but I had a channel for like 2 years prior with like 3,600 subs. And so I had to start over, and I don't have any of my other content, unfortunately. So I don't actually do the body work, but I do know the shop that I was using, CMP Automotive, they do body work and rust work in Harrisburg. They just sold out. It's under new ownership, so. Yeah, I lean back. Like, I'm always way back for driving. I kind of try to like match, I don't know, I like the center, like where this is at, I try to match that to the gauges so that it's like even top and bottom. Joe, I know. Oh, the suicide knob. Yeah, these things are neat. I love mine. Oh, you can't even see that. Hold on. Yeah, you can't even see that. I like mine. Let's see. No pink. See, there we go. That's what I wanted to hear. I wanted people to disagree with the pink. Too many of you were comfortable with the pink. I wouldn't mind an air ride seat, to be honest. Heated seats? No. I don't have heated seats. Nope, I passed inspection with the broken speedometer because I have a speedometer on my tuner. So I'll show you actually. So that one doesn't work, but this one does. So, and they passed it for this. And I passed on the first time, so somehow. Why? Steering wheel. Close the wall. Oh man, pink. The knob is in, okay, so that'd be 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It's in between like 9 and 6 o'clock, so like 7:30. Yeah, pink, I don't know. Pink is just, I don't know that I can do it. I specifically want a certain
I want something specific. Like, I want something that I want to do, though, that I know might ruffle some feathers. Because I already know that feathers are being ruffled with the tires and the exhaust and just this truck being used in general, like relying on a 16-year-old shitbox to make my living. But, I mean, it pays pretty decent. So... Mexican flag. 7:30. Yeah, I like it down there. It works for me. I thought about bright yellow. I feel like Greg Albarella did that. What time is it? Oh, it's 9:30. All right. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna stay on here. You guys are awesome, though. I'm gonna tell you what. 46 likes, 38 viewers. I was expecting like one viewer. I did not expect anybody to hop on here. So I definitely appreciate you guys. Bright neon safety green. See, I like that. How many miles is on the truck and engine? The engine has like 215, something like that. I put it in at like 210. And then the truck itself, I'd have to do the math actually. Let me do a quick calculator. Clear. 4625 plus 4405. The truck has 466,905 miles. Greg has more than 6 trucks. He's like 10 trucks. He's crazy. Yeah, too much. Yellow's already been done. Yeah, the Toyota colors are pretty awesome. I do like them. Unfortunately, been done. I don't know. It's going to take me a lot of thinking to pick. And I want to pick like a few and then have people vote on it. And then whichever one gets the least likes, that's the one I'll go with. No, I'm kidding. But I probably will have people vote on it. I didn't watch that video with the steering upgrade. I'm not a big fan of Greg's second gen. But I like the Peterbilt, the dually, and the OG tow pig. That's less miles than my ex-wife. I like that. Orange is decent. I appreciate you, Robert. I try. I wish I could post more, but it's like I do have a lot of stuff going on. I'm working on getting an inverter and Wi-Fi for the truck, so I'll be able to post more. But I'm gonna hit the road fully in March. It'll be like 2.5 weeks in, and then like a week to a week and a half off. So that's kind of gonna be the goal. But for now, it's like I'm running Monday to Friday, so it's like it's really hard to like cram everything in, and then I'm maxing out the logbook as much as I physically can. Yeah, if anybody wants to send me wrap designs, go ahead. There's 3 different links in any of my other videos down in the description. Send it down into any one of them. We could also do the what was it? The General Lee. We could do the General Lee on the truck. I thought about that too. That might offend a lot of people, which would do exactly what it needs to do. My steering's solid-ish. I saw that what you sent me about that. Yeah, I'm still in here. 1 hour and 45 minutes. Wow, I've been on here a while. I need to go get a drink or something. The 7.3 was if the 03 is a 7.3, that's pretty decent. The 6.0 had its issues. They can be remedied, but they still have their issues. But as for short haul, if you're gonna get into it, I'd just consider doing it full time. There is a lot of money in OTR if done correctly.
Like, just ignore the fact when people say, oh, I made like $6,000 this week. Their gross numbers, just mind you, like, if you are making $1,000 a week, I mean, that's pretty decent. You might make more, you might make less, but that's what you generally want to shoot for profit-wise. So if that sounds pretty good to you, but you'll also have to keep track of all your write-offs and all the other bullshit too. But yeah, I would definitely consider committing full-time. There's enough money into it, but I would wait a little bit to see how everything's going to go in the next couple months with the pipeline being shut down and whatnot. So just be really careful with that. Generally, Rapid Black. Yeah. Who's... Let's see. See, I don't like the Rebel flag though. I'm not really a Rebel flag guy, but if I were to do the wrap, I probably would have to throw it on there. But I don't know if that would offend customers though. I want to get more viewers, but I don't want to offend customers. So pea green. Oh man. All right. Well, I have wow, 1 hour and 45 minutes. GameStop logos. I like that. So I've been in here a good bit. I think I am gonna kill it. I'm getting pretty thirsty because I haven't drank anything yet. So I'm probably gonna kill it for the night. So 50 likes. I definitely appreciate everyone coming in here and watching. I was expecting to be in here like an hour, if that. I was gonna start it up, and if I got like 2 people, I'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna kill it. But so yeah, I'll get out of here. Like I said, definitely go check out links in my other video descriptions and like add me on any of those social media platforms. And just, if you add me on Facebook, just be warned, I post a lot of stupid stuff that just for no reason. So enjoy that. Don't get offended by any of it. Hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, I'll have a video for you guys hopefully sometime this weekend. So I gotta figure out how to get out of here. Push your cat scale weight ticket tomorrow. I will if I remember to get the cat scale weight. I'm gonna try to get the weight when I get a full tank. So if not, I'll do it this weekend when I'm not pressed for time. So either tomorrow or Saturday, Sunday, I'll get a cat scale. So other than that, have a good night, everybody. I appreciate y'all stopping by. If you feel like it, leave a like on the way out. You don't have to leave a like or a dislike. I guess it doesn't matter. But I appreciate all of you. Have a good night, guys, and stay safe.